Boy Will here, and today I want to do this quick little update video on my first Glock, my brand new Glock 43X. So this is the black version, the black edition. I did an unboxing video maybe a couple months ago, a few months ago. I got that video posted. I'll probably put a link somewhere up here. Check out that video for the unboxing. But this is just a follow-up video. I probably have about 2,000 rounds through this gun, and just wanted to give my opinion and update on some of the modifications I made to the gun, and my overall impressions of being an owner for the few months that I've owned it. Like I said, I got about 2,000 rounds in it. This was my first Glock. Never really was a fan of Glock before now, and spoiler alert, I absolutely love this gun. It's probably one of my favorite in my collection in terms of handguns. And I'll give you several reasons why here in a second. But first things first, for safety, I'll show you that these are actually dummy rounds tipped in snap caps. I was doing some dry fire practice, so no live ammo around. There's nothing in the chamber. The gun is completely safe. So yeah, again, the Glock 43X. I was in the market for a concealed carry gun a few months ago. Decided that I would give Glock a try, and picked this gun up and has been thoroughly happy with it. Took it down to the range, bone stock, shot maybe the first 200 rounds through the gun, and the gun worked flawless. But it was in those 200 rounds that I found some things that I liked about the gun and some things that I didn't like. Off the bat, the sights. Originally, the gun comes with plastic polymer U sights, or at least that's the version I bought it. Now I know you can get them with, I think, Amerigo sights, and there's other options straight from the factory. But mine came with the straight U cut polymer sights. Well, I had to get rid of those right away, and I did. I upgraded to TruGlo TFX Sights. I love these sights. I've had these on other handguns, and I always tend to come back to them. I like them because they have the fiber optic in the post. There's fiber optic in the front and back. Plus, there's also tritium. So the fiber optics pick up the sunlight, and they glow really bright. And then at night, if there's no sunlight, there's tritium, and the sight picture is great. It's real easy for me to focus on that white front sight post. And I'm pretty accurate with these sights, and I really like them a lot. Other upgrade that I made to it, immediate upgrade, the slide release. The one that comes on the gun, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that it's pretty flush. This is it right here. See if I can get the camera to focus a little. Yeah, so pretty thin, pretty flush to the gun, which is fine, but I got big hands, so I like something with a little more grip. So I upgraded to the Vickers slide release, and it just adds a little bit more bump out, which makes it a little bit easier for me to hit and then return the gun and the battery on reload. So really like that upgrade, and it was really easy to do. I upgraded the mag release. Nothing wrong with that. It's just that it, like some of the other options on the gun, are polymer. And just for the gun to have a little more durability, in my opinion, I upgraded to a aluminum mag release. This one happens to be from Tyrant Designs, CNC, machined aluminum. Just real nice, little extended mag release, real easy to actuate. I really like it. Now, this was actually the the hardest thing to upgrade on this gun. I mean, there's a little rod that goes along the inside of the gun up in here, and it was kind of a pain to fish that rod out. I know you can't really see it, but maybe right here. I'll try to pull it up on the, yeah. There's a little rod in there that holds the mag release in place, and it was kind of a pain to fish that out. Took a little while, but eventually got it out. Put the mag release in there, popped the pin back in, and kept it moving. It wasn't too bad, but it was probably the most difficult upgrade of this gun. Let's see. While we're looking at the bottom, I found this little piece. I think it's from Seekins Precision. Don't quote me. I mean, I think that's correct, but just this little filler piece. It wasn't that it was necessary. It's just that you know, I noticed after carrying it for a while, it started getting lint and sweat and stuff up in there, and it just bothered me. OCD, like that. It kind of bothered me. So I found this little filler plastic piece, popped that in there. Again, that was extra, but it was a really cheap upgrade. Um, let's see, other upgrades to this. The slide plate. I decided to upgrade the slide plate on this one. Actually, out of testing, I wanted to test this one out. This is actually the striker control device from Tau Development Group. It's not necessarily something I would have upgraded, but I wanted to try it because I like the fact that it gives a little extra safety to the gun. And what happens is, when you're reholstering the gun, to avoid a negligent discharge, it kind of makes the gun into like a hammer fire gun. So what happens is if the trigger is being pulled, you'll see that the little ledge will fly out on the back of the gun. So as you're holstering the gun, I holster with this. This is my light tuck from Vetter. So as I'm reholstering, I will put my finger on the back of the gun, and if there's anything, a garment or anything that might be pulling the trigger, I'll feel it from my thumb, and then I'll know to not holster the gun. Again, it's not necessary, but just something extra, extra safety. It's a passive type of thing. It's a passive disconnect, and it just is really nice. And I figured I'll test it out on this pistol. Let's see. I upgraded the trigger. Yeah, upgraded the trigger, and I know the school of thought behind it. Some people will say you don't want to upgrade the triggers on your carry guns because you're introducing reliability issues or you're introducing liability issues. And I get it, but in this case, I needed to upgrade the trigger on this gun for a couple reasons. The trigger that comes on the gun standard is not bad. If you guys are familiar with it, it's the regular polymer Glock trigger. This one is kind of serrated, so to speak, or like stair stepped, or I don't know exactly how you describe it. And from my understanding, all of the Glocks that are made in the U.S. are kind of like that with the same trigger. Not exactly sure, something I've heard, but if you know for sure, comment below. But the problems I have with this trigger is, one, it being polymer. I just wanted something, more that I felt was more durable. I just wanted something a little more confident. So in this case, I went with the aluminum trigger from Overwatch Precision. I think this is the Overwatch tack trigger. But the main problem I had with the standard trigger is the little safety dingus, or whatever you want to call it. this thing does not fall flush into the trigger, no matter what I do. And I know I can probably file it down with some sandpaper, but it would never fall flush. And because of that, when I was shooting, I would get a lot of hot spots. Um, I would get a lot of hot spots after shooting, 50 to 100 rounds, a regular afternoon session of shooting this gun. And, I would start getting hot spots and blisters. And it just was really kind of uncomfortable. Um, and, this being a tool or a carry gun, let's be real. I mean, the bottom line is if I needed to use this gun to save my life, protect my family or anything, the last thing I'm gonna be considering or thinking about is, blisters on my finger. This trigger would absolutely 100% work. However, when I go out for recreational shooting or, just to go and have fun, I want something that's comfortable. And one of the things I like about the Overwatch trigger is that it falls completely flush. I tend to shoot flat triggers better and are more accurate with them. And then I like the fact that it was aluminum. And then another reason why I had to move away from the Glock trigger is it bothered me so much that the trigger rattled around. I know you can hear that. Well, that I was hearing that inside of the gun, and I was wondering why my gun was rattling. And I figured out that it's this little safety thing moving around inside of the trigger. It's not stationary, so it rattles around, and once I removed that, got no rattle. So again, it's OCD thing. Don't judge me, but that bothered the hell out of me, and that was another reason why I had to let this one go. I decided that I was going to go with the Overwatch one because the nice thing about the Overwatch Precision one is it does not change any of the internals. It uses all Glock OEM internals, so it doesn't break any of the safeties of the gun. It doesn't reduce the pull weight of the gun. Nothing is changed internally in terms of the operation of the firearm. So I felt pretty comfortable with it. I've had probably about, of the 2,000 rounds with this gun, I would say probably about 1,200 to 1,300 of those rounds have been with this trigger in the gun. So I'm fairly confident that it will perform flawless because it has thus far, and I'm pretty happy with it. Other upgrades. I decided that I wanted to update the guide rod. So the guide rod, nothing wrong with it. It's a polymer guide rod, and I've seen these, perform flawless. I mean, the only time I've seen failures with the stock Glock guide rods is like when people are doing, the ridiculous torture test, 1,000 rounds, and they shoot the gun until it heats up so much where the polymer melts and then the rod fails. However, I wanted to update my gun, and I decided that I would go with the go with all metal guide rod. I started looking at a steel guide rod, but I ended up deciding to go with the guide rod from Lasermax. So I went with the Lasermax guide rod laser. So I have a laser that's added to the gun. It basically is a drop-in part. You just put the laser in just like you would with the guide rod, and you have to swap out the takedown lever, and that acts as a switch. So the laser is actually right there, integrated to the pistol. Zeroing is simple. There really is no zeroing to do because it's already integrated into the gun. I decided to go with this. And yeah, I know, people are going to say, hey, you could have just went with a TLR6 or, something like that. Why didn't you get a light? I mean, I don't feel like I needed a light on the gun. I wanted to keep the gun as streamlined and as simple as possible. And I didn't want anything extra bulk hanging off the bottom of the gun. I typically like to ride my gun as high as possible in the grip. So, I didn't want anything hanging. I wanted to keep it kind of streamlined. And this was a good option for me. And expensive option, but I really, really decided that, I really wanted to try it. And I tell you, I honestly love it. In terms of why I don't have a light, I typically carry, flashlights. I'll have an EDC light either on my pocket or on my keys. So I figured I didn't really need another light on my gun. However, comment below if you feel differently. I think for me this setup worked pretty nice. Will I use the laser in a situation where I absolutely have to save my life with this gun? Probably not. I mean, to be real, if I draw the gun and get on target, I'm more than likely not going to have time to really engage a laser. And I don't really use it for that. Where I do find it quite useful is in training. A lot of the dry fire practice I do, instead of what you're told, maybe put a round on the front post and then pull the trigger. Yeah, you could do that, but in this case, I'll use the laser. I'll turn the laser on, and then I'll watch as I pull the trigger and see if the laser jumps. You notice way more, slight tremors or movements, downrange with a laser than you do, or than I did with putting a round on the front post. So for me, the guy rod laser was, a real benefit. It's really helped me quite a bit with trigger control. So I'm excited about that. I really like that option on this gun as well. So out of all these upgrades, I'm really happy with the way this gun is set up now. But however, what I have today right here is game changer. Game changer for this gun. And you probably already know by the title of the gun, by the title of this video. But yeah. The Glock 43X is, caught a lot of heat. It gets a lot of noise from people saying, why carry this when you can just have a regular, when you can have a P365 and have 10 rounds? Or why carry something with this size of a grip, the same size grip of a Glock 19, but it only has 10 rounds when you can have a Glock 19 and it has 15 rounds? Yeah, I get it. But again, I think this right here is a game changer. So I'm going to open that up. And what we have in here is this guy. This is the Shield Arms S15 magazine. I have 2 S15 magazines. So essentially these are 15 round flush fit magazines for the Glock 43X. Basically taking this gun from a 10 round capacity to a 15 round capacity in a flush fit. So that is amazing. These mags, I ordered mine the first hour of the initial pre-order, and I just got them last week. Actually just this week, Monday. So it took a while to get them, but I feel like this is a game changer for this gun. 15 rounds in this small of a package is huge. Nothing wrong with the regular Glock mags, but again, to have that added capacity, 50% more capacity in a package this small is absolutely game changing, and pretty much renders the Glock 19, Glock 43X, concealed carry king debate pretty much moot. Um, you know, this now has more capacity than the P365, has more capacity than the P365 XL, has more capacity than the Hellcat, for a very small footprint. So I think you can make a safe argument to say that this might be, in this configuration with the 43X and the S15 mag, you can make an argument that this is now the concealed carry king, for the short term. So I'm really excited about this gun. I want to get out to the range and test these mags. So far, what I'm seeing on other YouTubers are saying that they shot these mags, put them through torture tests, and they perform for the most part flawless. A few hangups that I've seen with mags sticking instead of dropping free. So far this one seems to have no problems, but I'll test it out. But so far I've seen no issues with them failing to feed or any type of problem. So hopefully these two mags work out for me. So that's it. I appreciate it. Thank you guys very much for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment below if you want to know anything about this gun, anything about any of the options, upgrades on the gun. Let me know. If you have tips or ideas for future videos or updates that I can make with this gun, let me know. And now for quick little giveaway, because I want to thank you guys. It's a new year. I want to thank you guys. Hey, I got a Olight i3T EOS in FDE. I want to give it away to one of you lucky watchers and lucky subscribers. So you want to win this? Please like this video, subscribe, and comment below. I'll pick one lucky winner at the end of next month, and then I'll ship this out to you free of charge. So again, thank you very much. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. This is your boy Will. I'm out.